Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Raiti from Raiti's Rides, and I am back here at Subaru of Port Richey. Thankfully, my buddy Spencer, he contacted me. He said, listen, I know you already did a 2019 STI. I kind of rolled out of here real quick. Well, guess what? We're back again with another 2019 Subaru WRX STI. This one finished in this beautiful pure red. So let me give you a little history about the STI if you're not up to speed. Subaru has been building rally cars for years. Originally, the way the rules were set up in World Rally, they were running their legacy. Eventually, in the early 90s, they came out with the Subaru Impreza. That was a much smaller car. They were able to turn that Impreza into a rally machine with all-wheel drive, turbocharged, flat 4 engine, and it just really ruled the roost. As the year went by, wins were happening, and then into the following decade, they wound up getting championships and everything else. Well, today, 2019, guess what? Finally, Subaru has made some changes to the STI. Now, I know a lot of people are wanting major changes, but that's not Subaru style, because the STI, and STI stands for Subaru Technica International. That's that branch that focuses on building those World Rally Championship beasts, winds up building the race cars that race at the 24 Hours of the Nürburgring and win each year. They have done some trickery, but it's only been minute. And we're gonna go a little bit deeper into what those things are gonna bring for you to the table. But let's go ahead and take a look at the front end. You could see automatically that it has that same look that harks back. You know, Subaru is one of those brands where they do small changes and they really have a personality to the car, image that sticks with it. With the 2019, you still have full LED lighting, LED headlight, turn signals, and marker lights. One of the things it does not have that a lot of people, like I said before, are complaining about is there's no fog lights. Subaru claims that these lights are bright enough, you don't need the fog lights. That's yet to be determined. You do the work. Take it for a spin at night and see if it's true or not. What's great about these headlights though is that they're adaptive. So as you turn the steering wheel, they're gonna move with the steering, and I'm telling you, if you haven't driven a car that does that yet, it really allows you to see around that bend in pure darkness. Here's a little fun fact for you. A lot of people think BMW, and I think almost BMW thinks that they came up with adaptive headlights. No, sorry BMW. It goes all the way back to the late 40s. There was an American but with the last name Tucker who made his own vehicle. The headlight in the center actually turned with the steering wheel, so there's a little bit of history. But I still like, even though they haven't done a lot of changing, I still like the front end. This thing, big plastic piece, I'm not a big fan of. It's not functional. Yes, there is air that travels through, but it is just for aerodynamic purposes. There's no actual brake cooling because there's no ducts that go to those brakes. One thing that I've always been a fan of, going back to those mid and late 90s, was the big, huge ram air scoop on the hood. It is functional on all STIs. The reason why is that's where the intercooler is. And I don't know if Tom wants to take you inside that scoop, but you can physically see the intercooler sitting on top of that 2.5 liter flat 4 turbocharged engine, that boxer engine. Remember, the reason why we call it a boxer engine is because those pistons are flat and they're going side to side like that, like boxing gloves. For 2018, they did do a slight refresh to the front of the car. I think they hit the nail on the head with the grille, and I love this lower area. I know some people were a little hung up that the material did not match the grille. I'm glad that it didn't, because this is gonna take more of a beating from rocks and pebbles. And with the flat black, it really gives it a rally car-esque look to it, even though this is more like a piano black. There's our traditional Subaru emblem there. And then of course, you can't forget the STI badge. And if you look closely, on the 2019, they went back to a lighter cherry blossom pinkish color there. That is a piece of history. Over the years, it's kind of gotten a little darker. I think people were like, what was going on with that? But this one, you can see it goes back to that lighter pink color, that cherry blossom color, but very, very aggressive with the front end. Let's go ahead and take a look at the side here. I think with the pure red, these wheels work fantastic. There's no longer, so this one is fully loaded. This is a limited, fully loaded, MSRP around $43,000. It used to be on the limited, you'd get a different wheel. This is the same wheel as a base STI wheel. It's a 19-inch wheel, beautiful wheel, but I do kind of miss that they don't have an optional wheel that came with the limited. Remember, those wheels were forged. These are not forged aluminum wheels, they're cast. You can see they do all come with 13.2-inch rotors that are cross-drilled and ventilated, and huge day glow yellow 6-piston Brembo calipers. I think it would look a little bit more classier if this was finished in that silver like the Type RA. And it's funny that I bring the Type RA up because guess what? There are changes underneath the hood that are very similar to the Type A, especially when it comes to the gearbox, the reprogramming of the computer, and the pistons. So we're going to talk about that in a second when we pop the hood of this STI. Same thing, if you've been in a 2015, the same greenhouse effect is actually in line. So from 2015 to 2019, overall from the side, the car is the same. I'm going to have Tom swing around. I always like to show how flared the fenders are on these cars. Not as flared as, say, a 2013, but still definitely has that distinct look that's going to separate you from a lot of the plain Jane cars that are out there on the road, especially those boring SUVs. Let's work our way towards the back. One thing you're going to notice is there's no big STI wing. Remember, if there was a wing here, I can't do this. No wing. What's nice is on the limited, they've decided to go with the spoiler delete option. It's a no-cost option, and it gives you just enough kick up. It is functional, and it looks really good. I personally would still go with the wing. I feel like, hey, if you're gonna go STI, you wanna get, especially getting in red. If you're trying to be subtle, and you're like, I'm gonna get a bright red car, but I'm not gonna get that crazy big wing, I think you're looking at the wrong color. If you're going pure red, you want that beautiful spoiler up there. But I still also do like the kick up as well. It's really to each their own. Like my grandmother used to say, this wouldn't be her cup of tea. She'd rather have the larger wing. Finishing off the back, there's another STI badge. Remember, with all Subarus, full all-wheel drive, symmetrical all-wheel drive all the time. With the STI, I'm gonna show you that computer-controlled center diff that you can control right on the center console. Exhaust. Now these are not the optional STI exhaust, but for 2019 they did redesign the exhaust to help with that extra horsepower. At the end of the day, it's 5 horsepower. So you're looking at 310 horsepower, 290 foot-pounds of torque. I don't know if it's anything to write home about, but it is what it is. 2020 is supposed to be that year. Is this just a holdover vehicle? Is this just to make us say, okay, 2020, they're coming out with a totally redesigned vehicle? Let's wait and see, and I hope, fingers crossed, that it's going to be worth the wait, because remember, since 2004, when an STI first came to our shores, it's had 305 horsepower. No changes. Everybody else in that segment has changed. Think about Camaros and Mustangs nowadays. They got tons of power. This has stayed the same. I wish they would have done something, but hey, it's still a Subaru, and I do love Subarus, even at the end of the day. But I like how clean the back of the car is. I like the diffuser. And I know some people don't like the taillights. I like the look of it. I like the red with the clear turn single lens here. Gives it a nice distinct look. At the end of the day, it's one of those things that you could change all of this. There's tons of websites out there, and that's another reason why I love these cars. They're sort of like Mustangs. There are tons of aftermarket companies. You could change this thing up every which way from Sunday, and you can make something unique for yourself. Let's go ahead. I promise you that engine. Let's go take a look at that 2.5 liter turbocharged engine. All right, guys, here we are underneath the hood, the 2019 Subaru WRX STI. First time since the Type RA last year that there's an engine output increase. 310 horsepower, 290 foot-pounds of torque. What they did was they redesigned the intake. You have a different computer control that's going to increase the boost. And also to aid in acceleration, they redesigned that third gear to help you get some faster acceleration. Now, I've been doing some reading, I've been doing some researching. I haven't seen any huge results when it comes to 0 to 60, quarter mile, or even lap times on a road course. So I'm a little, confused and dumbfounded as where is this happening, and is it even worth mentioning? Would it have been better for Subaru to just say, hey, we redesigned some things with the running of the engine and just leave it alone? Was it wise to really push that, hey, we got 310 horsepower? And I know a lot of people are like, uh-oh, the Type RA people must be really pissed off. To be honest with you, I don't think they should be, because yes, engine is the same. Yes, that third gear revision is the same. The exhaust revision is the same. But guess what? A Type RA is still going to have a carbon fiber roof. It's got a unique rear bumper. It's got those forged, beautiful gold forged wheels. They got more things with that car than just the engine. But I've always liked how they have the nice red on the intake plenum here. I've always liked with a flat 4 engine how not a lot of plastic covering everything up. You got your big huge intercooler, obviously 2.5 liter. The turbocharge is located on the passenger side, down low in there. I don't even think Tom with his fancy camera work could even get down in there, because it's pretty sunk down in there. He's trying, but it's in there, I promise you. This does have a turbo. It's not normally aspirated. Anyways, this is one of the big revisions. Let's go take a look at the other big revision on the interior. Let's go check it out. All right, guys, we're inside the 2019 STI. There are some changes, but first let me show you what you're working with. Look at the door panels. I like the Alcantara material on the door panels. I like the red contrast stitching and the piano black near the controls for the window and the door locks. This does come with a Harman Kardon sound system, which has been updated with a 7-inch display, which I'll show you in a little bit. I really do like these recalls. I like the back, I don't like the bottom. The bottom is stock STI, but I do like the back recalls, especially if you don't want something super snug. I think this is going to be perfect for you. I personally would just like a little bit more, because side to side action, I'm moving around a lot. Remember, I'm 6 feet tall, 200 pounds. I'm no small lightweight, and I'm really moving around, whereas if my RS, you're held in a lot tighter. And when you're doing a twisty road or an autocross event or even a track day, you want to be held in place. I promise you, you'll actually get fatigued less and you'll be able to drive faster. But that's another thing I'm a little confused why they went with a stock seat. Obviously, the stock bottom is to save money. If they wanted to go a little bit more, they would probably have to raise the price of the car or eat that price by getting a full recall. But I do like the Alcantara material. The leather is a great quality. You have that wonderful slick shifting, short throw, 6-speed transmission. These transmissions could take your mods, guys. 500 horsepower, 600 horsepower, 700 horsepower. The mods, this thing could take the abuse over and over again. It is a little notchy if you're not used to that, but it is just, once it goes into gear, once you're moving, it's a wonderful, wonderful feeling. I'm going to go ahead and have Tom hang in the back seat so we can show you some of the other goodness going on here. All right, guys, we're inside. The doors are closed. We got the AC blowing because I promise you, it's a hot August day here in Florida. But guess what? We're inside a 2019 STI, so it really isn't that bad. We're going to focus right here on that center stack because this is where you're going to see the changes. You have a 7-inch infotainment screen. For the first time ever in an STI or WRX, you can have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto standard with this system. It is a plus, especially if you've never used Apple CarPlay. It's wonderful to be able to text somebody and not have to touch your phone or anything. You just talk and the text gets sent. It's wonderful. Let me show you some of the things I don't love about this infotainment. So when I hit map, that's the map. It's a very, very small size screen. It is 7-inch, but I feel like a lot of other infotainment systems, the quality is a little bit more crisp when it comes to the map. Another thing is when you go back home, It's not as fast as, say, my Focus RS with the Connect system, the Sync 3 My Connect system in it. But Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, first time. You can see you got your full radio controls. The graphics are fine. Like I said, for the map itself, when you go to map, it just, I don't know, there's just something about it, I'm not loving it. I don't know if it's the angle of this thing or what's going on, just not really loving it. What I do love, though, is I love the gauge pod at the top. You got a wonderful boost gauge there. I love the graphics. They hit the nail on the head with the graphics. If you're noticing, well, what the heck is that red bar, those red bars that are filling up? That's actually when I hit the accelerator, it's actually measuring not only percentage, but also showing you visually. And then it's also giving you a visual for the boost and an actual numerical readout, which is nice as well. Remember, with that revised computer in this car, you are gonna have higher boost. This car, because it is a limited, comes with the dual climate controls. What I do like about it is that it actually shows it up here. So if I want to adjust this, you see how the driver, I'm going to 63, 66, 67, so on and so forth, whereas the passenger could be, I know Tom likes it hot, it could be 85 for him. But it's nice that it's all right up there, right up top in that nice gauge pod. Let me show you some other features, which is kind of cool, that you don't see in a lot of other cars. You do, but not in such a nicely displayed way. I like the way they have the fuel economy. If you keep toggling, it actually shows you power distribution. There's that all-wheel drive system that Subaru is just so well known for. And then there it's showing you miles per gallons again. You got your clock. You could actually set this thing up to say happy birthday to you when it's your birthday. Or say you forget when your anniversary is, guys. You could actually set it up to remind you when your anniversary is. If I were you, I'd probably set it a few days early so you could get your special someone that special gift. And remember, high on a lot of ladies' lists out there is a Raity's Rides t-shirt, which you can get through my YouTube channel. Just click on that About section of my YouTube page, and it's in the lower left-hand corner. Just a little tip from you to me, or I should say from me to you. Here is that wonderful, like I was showing you before, that wonderful 6-speed. And then another thing that Subaru does really, really well is the center diff control. You have SI drive, which you could adjust how you like your power delivery, sport sharp, and then if you're really trying to hug a tree and save gas, you just put in that intelligent mode. And then this is for controlling the power delivery from front to rear. Like I warned you before, do not put it in full lock. If you're driving on the asphalt, you will burn up those diffs. So don't do that. Now that you've had a good view of what's new for 2019, how about come back and let's take a look at where you're going to be spending all the time behind this beautiful Subaru flat bottom steering wheel. Come around the side and I'll show you. All right, guys, so here's where you're spending time. Let me show you. What's really cool is you get nice red seat belts. Believe it or not, things like this are options on Porsches. This is something like some crazy $800 option on a 911. You get it included with your Subaru, so it's really cool like that. If you've been around Subarus for a while, you know that their overall quality has been lacking, but I'm telling you, the 2019, they really just, it gets better and better. I love the steering wheel, I love the shape of it, the material. I like how they went in 2018 with the piano black, so they carried that over. Also, I like the way that the cruise control is inward. It's not an extra lever for you to bump your leg on. If you see this, you get some nice security when you're driving down the road with lane keep and all that great stuff, cross traffic. So you're getting some of that Subaru safety, because remember, in the business, Subaru is going to keep you safe. They have that 5-star plus safety rating, all their gizmos and gadgets. The only thing you can't get with the manual is eyesight. But other than that, you could have the other goodies as well. I don't know if Tom could swing back in and show you the gauges. I've always liked the quality of the gauges on the STI, especially compared to my RS. I really feel like Ford needs to really improve for the next RS, those gauges and other just materials inside. Push button start, because it is that limited. And then of course you're gonna get a sunroof on the limited as well. That's another feature that you get, a wonderful sunroof. So if you want to have those extra niceties, they are available to you through the limited package. But I don't know about you, this 2019's been great. Let's go ahead and wrap it up. All right, guys, it's been one hell of a day here at Subaru of Port Richey. Definitely got to give a big shout out to my bud Spencer for allowing me to come on down. He told me that this thing just rolled off the truck. They're slowly getting 2019, so if you are looking for a 2019 STI, they have it here at Subaru of Port Richey. As you can see, some minor additions. Is there anything to jump for joy about? I really don't think so, but guess what? That's up to you. If you lusted after one of these, there's really no better time, because yes, they are coming out with a redesign in 2020. Do you want to be that person that's going to buy an all-new model and then see what kind of issues they have with it? That's up to you. Some people like to have that all-new, and hey, I'm all about that, but there's really no better time to get an STI, because you're going to get really that tool that's been fine-honed like an old man whittling a piece of wood. That's what you get with this STI. I know there's always people are like, oh, the ring lens, oh, the engine. Listen, if you build it right, you get it tuned right, it's gonna take care of you. If you go out and rag the hell out of it, yeah, you're probably gonna have some issues. But anyways, I wanna thank you guys for watching today. If you have not hit that subscribe button, please hit that subscribe button. Things have been going awesome here at Raiti's Rides, and it's all because of you who have subscribed. So thank you for being part of this community, this family, and thank you for being on this journey with me. It's been an adventure that's just blown my mind, and it just keeps getting better and better, and I'm so glad that you guys are there. Remember, daily uploads, quality daily uploads every single day. Been doing it that way since December. Started the channel in October, so things are really spooling up fast like a turbo. If you haven't checked out my Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, all Raiti's Rides original content all the time. If you haven't gotten yourself a Raiti's Rides t-shirt, click that About tab on my homepage of YouTube, lower left-hand corner. Click that link. It's 15 bucks. Support the cause. It's an amazing adventure. Be more part of it. Be proud to spread the word of Raiti's Rides. Definitely got to give a big shout out to Big Guns McGee, Tom Moschner, working the camera. He's getting awesome shots. You guys are giving him awesome comments, and he is getting ready for that powerlifting competition. So definitely want to wish him well on that journey. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.